We're back. Briterion Bollection. Sorry to keep you waiting too long. I know we've been a little too sporadic lately, but we're still trying to do this podcast. Briterion Bollection. It's our OG take on film, music, sports, etc. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
So I'm your host, Kevin. This is my friend Byron. And today we're going to talk about a special film in our lives. It's a movie a lot of people have seen. It's not like some obscure movie no one's ever seen. It's a pretty well-known film. And it's a movie known as The Breakfast Club, directed by John Hughes, written and directed by him. And I remember just seeing it as a kid, even before I was 10 years old. Maybe it was like eight or nine, seeing it on TBS or TNT or something like that. And even though I didn't understand everything, I was still like engaged by the dialogue. You know what I mean? Like, for whatever reason, I would be like, I don't know what they're saying, but this is interesting. Something about it like just drew me into it, even though I was still pretty young. It kind of reminded me of like Saved by the Bell, because I would watch Saved by the Bell growing up.
Yeah.
And these guys are around the same age, but there was something more hard-edged about this. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is kind of like Saved by the Bell, but they're like cussing and stuff. You know what I mean? There's like cussing, talking about drugs, talking about sexuality.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. So I think maybe just the fact that it was high school kind of drew me in, because even though I was younger, it was like, okay, I'm aspiring to be in high school and, have fun like them. But this was pretty different from Saved by the Bell. So yeah, that's where I first would see it. Is that how you saw it too, or how did you first see it?
Yeah, I don't remember how old I was. I was still young, so I would say grade school maybe.
Probably the same age, like 8, 9?
Yeah, I'm guessing around there.
That's funny. It's funny that we saw it around that same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're big John Hughes fans, right? So
Weird Science,
Ferris Bueller, Home Alone, Vacation. Yeah, I mean, all that shit. I was kind of looking through my DVD collection, and I was like, okay, Breakfast Club. I was like, okay, like, yeah, that seems good. We're both John Hughes fans, so why not? And yeah, I mean, he was great. And not just, he didn't direct everything he wrote, but he wrote a lot of great shit, because he pretty much ran the 80s, because he wrote Vacation. That was really his first thing.
That was great.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they even remade it. It was such a good movie.
Vacations, actually.
He wrote that, but Harold Ramis directed it. Harold Ramis, the actor and director, he plays Egon on Ghostbusters too.
Right.
But he was a director too. So he directed that. But he pretty much ran the 80s with his teen movies, and then in the early 90s he has the Home Alones there. So he did Curly Sue too. So he had a good run. He had a hell of a run. The description says, on Saturday, March 24th, 1984, 5 students at Shermer High School in Shermer, Illinois report for an all-day detention. Socially awkward nerd Brian Johnson, jock Andrew Clark, shy loner Allison Reynolds, popular girl Claire Standish, and rebellious delinquent John Bender. They gather in the school library and meet with their vice principal, Richard Vernon, who warns them not to talk or move from their seats and assigns each of them the task of writing a minimum 1,000-word essay describing who they think they are. So that's the Wikipedia description. And I actually think I probably saw Home Alone before I saw this, because I actually saw Home Alone in the theaters, because I remember my mom taking me to see that.
Yeah.
And so how old was I when that came out? I mean, I guess Home Alone came out in 90.
Yeah.
So I would have been 6. Yeah. So yeah, I saw, and I remember seeing that in theater. So I had to see that first, and then I guess I saw this
after.
Yeah, maybe a couple years after. So I already had some Hughes influence there.
Right.
And and then also Christmas Vacation, he wrote that too.
Yeah.
Which is like one of our favorite Christmas movies, right?
Yeah, it's probably my number one.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite. I actually probably like that more than Home Alone.
That Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
I can watch that repeatedly.
Yeah, kind of like, because it has more of a hard edge, Maybe when I was a kid, I fucked with Home Alone more, but now that I'm an adult, I fuck with Christmas Vacation more. Yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, but I've always loved that movie since I was a kid. I remember.
Yeah, it's never.
Yeah. I remember my mom even buying it on VHS not long after it came out, and we would watch it.
Watch it all the time.
Yeah, during those holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, during those breaks, we would watch them.
Right.
Yeah, and we still watch them every freaking break. So the movie starts, and you just hear this music, this so the Simple Minds song, which is a great band. It's a great new wave band.
Yeah.
Don't You Forget About Me. And they had other great songs, but people know this.
That was the one.
Mainly their song.
Yeah.
And I feel like John Hughes, he doesn't get enough credit as like as far as his musical taste. He had really great musical taste. The songs he put in,
it fits the movie
yeah,
great.
yeah, they always just fit the scenes perfectly.
Right.
Yeah, and it's like I wonder where he got this from. You know, he had really good music taste for some nerdy Republican guy. You know, like he was like a proud Republican for whatever reason.
Right.
He's been passed on for a long time, but
Could have been MAGA.
yeah, you never know. And then after that music, you see this quote on the screen, which is from David Bowie from the song Changes, which is one of my favorite songs of his. And it says, it's that part, I guess that second verse where he says, and these children that you spit on as they try to change their worlds are immune to your consultations. They're quite aware of what they're going through. And you see that and you're like, okay, like how does this connect to the movie? But then that shatters, and then you see the school.
Yeah.
And I guess he chose that quote because I think that's what the movie is trying to say is that, and it still rings true today. Like every generation, like at least the older generation always thinks that the younger generation is stupid.
Yeah.
Like we tend to think, oh, these guys don't know
They
shit.
don't know what they're talking about. Right?
Yeah.
They don't know.
Whereas like really really kids get smarter with every generation, really, because of technology. They know more than the previous generation because they're just building on that. So they're dumb, but they're smart. You know what I mean? Like they're stupid, but they're smarter at the same time. And then we hear Brian's voice on the soundtrack. He kind of narrates the first part. So Brian, played by Anthony Michael Hall, he's the nerd
who went on to be a big thing in the 80s.
Yeah, he was a big deal in the.
Well, it was his third movie because he did He's in Vacation,
Yep,
which was John
he was in
Hughes.
Vacation.
He was in 16 Candles,
Yep,
with John Hughes, and then he was in this.
Yep. And then he was in Weird Science.
Yeah. So he did 4, and then he did a few others, Johnny Be Good, and others in the 80s.
And he actually wanted him for his other parts. He's like, he wanted him in Pretty in Pink. He wanted him as the Ducky role.
He just didn't make it.
I guess he rejected him. Like he didn't want
him.
He didn't want to be typecast.
Right.
I guess is what he was
kept the ball
rolling.
And that's a classic in itself,
exactly.
right? Pretty in Pink. So.
And he wanted him for Ferris Bueller, actually.
Yeah, let me kind of separate myself from you after a while, right?
But then it's like, when you look at it, his career didn't end up that great anyway.
So you took it. You know?
At least he had more classics under his.
Right. He tried to stop it.
Yeah.
But it's like, it wasn't like you went on to be this big old.
Yeah. Because I think the damage had been done.
That's right.
Might as well do every John Hughes movie. Yeah. I don't know if he could have done as good a job as Matthew Broderick in that role. I feel like Matthew Broderick just killed.
And I think roles
are meant to be.
Yeah, roles end up the way they're supposed to.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about some actors didn't take a role and it landed it, but I think the way it was supposed to be is because of who played it.
Yeah.
So, let's say Anthony plays him. We're not celebrating it probably the same way.
Yeah, exactly. It would have a different tone.
Yeah. I mean, not saying he couldn't do it well. I just don't think he would have did as well as Matthew was made for that.
Yeah, Matthew
that was his role.
killed that.
Right.
And it's funny because Matthew, I don't think he ever worked with Hughes again, really. That was like his only one. Yeah, but it was like he was so perfect for it.
Right. It was good match.
Yeah.
But you should think more of it, I thought.
I mean, like the guy in Harold and Kumar says, the black guy they find in jail when they get thrown in, he says, the universe tends to unfold as it should. He says, it's like, I think there is truth to that. Yeah. Like, things are meant to be. You know what I mean?
Very potent words by him.
Yeah, exactly. And then Anthony Michael Hall, he ended up doing SNL because he was homies with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
So they both did SNL for one season, and it's like considered the worst season of all time.
Yeah. And then you got Keenan from Keenan and Kel, who did it, I think, the longest.
He's been on it for 25 years. What the hell?
At least you have something as your staple. Well, really, his staple is obviously Good Burger, the movie. But outside of that and the show he had with Keenan and Kel, the show, he's known not for his movies, he's known more for SNL now.
Yeah, exactly. And did you hear that thing about him? Like his ex-wife is now with the other guy who was on SNL?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very weird. But I mean, I think I saw Dr. Umar talking about that, and he's kind of like,
happened though.
He's like, that's what you get for bunny hoppers.
That was the same thing that happened to Omarion. Sidetrack, but he dated this girl named April,
right?
And then Lil Fizz gets with her.
Yeah,
but Lil Fizz came out recently and said that he apologized for that. He felt like that was not.
He crossed the line.
Yeah, like the bro code, Like,
yeah. Because I mean, he's not with her anymore, right?
No,
yeah.
No, but I guess he felt differently after the fact. Like, I shouldn't have did that. But in the moment, he did. So. Yeah, it happened.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's how you know. You know, I mean, like, you should kind of see that early on.
If she's willing to be that way, then.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
not someone you want to deal with.
Yeah, but we digress.
Yeah, a little off.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, back to Breakfast Club. He says the date. He says March 24th, 1984.
Yeah.
It's funny because March 24th is Aileen's birthday.
It is.
Yeah, but 1984 is my year. Our year.
Yeah.
It's both of our years.
Right.
It's kind of funny that it has her date, but my year.
Yeah,
You know?
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, March 24th. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Of all dates, that is the date.
So they're all being dropped off by their parents except Bender, and all their parents kind of chew them out before they get there.
Before they go.
Yeah,
right.
before they get out. Except Basket Case. She when her car gets there, she gets out, and then she's like about to talk to whoever drove her. You don't even know if that's her parent or who that is.
You don't know who's.
She like walks over and then just drives off. You can just hear the car screeching away.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're just trying to show that they kind of have more stable families. The families who got a talking to,
I think so.
their families are more stable, whereas Bender and Basket Case,
there was no stability with households.
Right? Yeah, and I love how the car almost hits Bender as he's walking. Like, you remember that he's walking and the car's like it's like an inch away from him, but he just keeps walking. He doesn't even like get scared or anything. I love that. It's hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty funny. They all sit in the library for detention, which is really a Saturday school. Did you ever have Saturday school?
I think once.
Do you remember what you got it for? Or
no, I think it was in middle school.
Really?
I was a pretty good student, so
right.
It was either Saturday school or detention. I don't remember which one, but I got one of them one time, and it was around like 7th grade or something.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't think I got detention at all in high school. I got it maybe like 3 or 4 times in middle school for random reasons, but in high school I got Saturday school twice. Like,
wow.
No,
once wasn't good enough.
Yeah, the first one was in 9th grade. I remember, and it was because my English teacher caught me cheating on this other kid, other friend's paper.
Right.
So I got Saturday school because of that. And then I got one, I think, my senior year. So I bookended my high school
starting
Saturday school. I got none in the middle years.
Yeah, 10th and 11th.
Senior year. Yeah, I don't even remember what the hell I even got that one for. It was like random. It was just like, they were just go to Saturday school just for old time's sake.
We just
go out.
We just need you in there.
One more time,
before you leave.
Yeah.
Memory for you.
Exactly. So the principal comes in and tells them they have to stay over 8 hours and think about how they fucked up.
Yeah.
They can't talk. They can't move.
Yeah.
And he's like, any questions? And Bender says, yeah. Does Barry Manilow know you raided his wardrobe? And he says, you'll get the answer to that next week, young man. And now here's the great line that I love, where he's like, don't mess with the bull, young man. You get the horns. Like he says, I like that part.
Horns.
Yeah. And I always used to say that stupidly. I'd just say that randomly. I'm just like, don't mess with the bull, young man. You get the horns. Like, I would just say that as a non sequitur. So we see their little quirks. We see Basket Case. She bites her nails. Brian talks to himself and sticks a pencil up his nose. Bender sees that, and then he sees Claire, and he's trying to get her attention by throwing a crumpled paper. And then he does the riff from Cream with his mouth, with Sunshine of Your Love, which I love that song. So him knowing that song, that makes him cool. That he's cool. The fact that he knows that. And then he says, he's like, hey, close the door. And he's like, let's get the prom queen impregnated. And Emilio Estevez, who plays the sporty guy, he's like, hey man, he intervenes. And he's like, if I lose my temper, you're total, man. And he says, totally. And so they use these cheesy 80s words, So it's funny seeing Judd Nelson. I think when I was a kid, I thought he was Mexican. I was like, who's this Mexican guy? I was like, but he is a great actor, though. If you see this, he has a real magnetism.
Yeah.
And this
stage presence.
Yeah. And this character is nothing like his background. I mean, he's a Jewish guy from a middle class family, So this role is like totally different. Yeah. His parents are like kind of rich.
He played it so well, you would have thought that this is like who he is. It's not who he is, actually.
No, not at all.
It's just a role he played.
So, I mean, he killed it.
Did good. I think he played the best of anybody in the movie.
I think so. I think he stole the movie, for sure.
I don't think there's a question.
And I think that's why he closes it. He closes the movie.
He wanted to leave the last part of the movie with him in the image.
Yeah.
That was by design.
That was not accident.
Right.
He's the one who
He's the one that carried the movie and was the most important to the movie.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then Claire's like, oh, just ignore him. And then he's like, sweets. couldn't ignore me if you tried. like you see his magnetism there when he says shit like that.
He always had a good comeback for her.
Yeah, so he says, oh, they can't have fun if the door is open. So he walks over and he manages to close the door. He takes out a screw from the door, and the other kids tell him to fix it before the principal comes back. And then the principal comes back and he's like, why is that door closed? And they're like, oh, we're just sitting here, sir. And
that's my first moment.
That's your first moment? Okay. Yeah. So he's like, yeah, why is that door closed? And Bender's like, oh, I think a screw fell out of it. And he's like, give me the screw. And Bender says, screws fall out all the time.
And he tries to fix it.
Yeah.
And puts something in there and it doesn't work. He's like, I think blocking exit ways and ways is,
yes, I think that's a serious fire hazard, sir.
And then he's like, what are you doing? He tells him to make him look, and then he has to leave the door.
Yeah.
Close, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, they have to close it, and he walks back, and he's kind of a dick, the principal.
Yeah, he was kind of. He didn't like them. He definitely didn't like Bender.
Yeah, for sure. But then even he disses Estevez when he walks back. He's like, oh, I expected a little more out of a varsity letterman.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think he had depended on someone.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Because he looked dumb by trying to the door.
He couldn't fix it himself, so he had to blame someone else.
He made him look like an idiot. Really.
Yeah. Yeah, and the principal and Bender get into it kind of again here. And he says, oh, you're not fooling anyone, Bender. And Bender says, eat my shorts. And he's like, what did you say? And he says, eat my shorts. And they go back and forth. This is like a classic scene here where he's like, oh, you want another one? He's like, you get another one. He's like, you want to come back for detention? Okay, you get another one. You got another one right there.
She finally says, cut it out.
Yeah.
He's like, still doing it.
Yeah. And she's like, stop. Like her like mouthing that.
She's not even saying it. She's just saying it with like no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They parody it a little bit. Yeah. Where some other guy's saying some stupid shit and the other guy's like, stop. like he's going like that. Yeah. And so they go back and forth. It's a really good scene. I really like that scene. He's like, you want another one? And he's like, yes. And he's like, you through? He's like, not even close, but there's another one. You got another one right there.
He's like, I'm going to have you for the rest of your time.
He's like, I'm going to have you for the rest of your natural born life, Bender. And he's got those horns. He's like, 2 months. I got you for 2 months, Bender. Yeah, I love that. And he's like, next time I'm coming here, I'm cracking skulls. And you see Bender say that, like, mouth that over him saying that. I guess he says that all the time.
Right.
And then the principal walks out and he closes the door. He slams the door. And then right when he slams it, Bender's like, fuck you. You hear the echo of it. Like, I love that. And he can hear that. He's outside the door and he hears that. But he's like, he's like, man, this is fucking stressful.
Right.
Dealing with these damn kids.
Right.
Like, but in that moment, I really felt bad for him though, where it was like, dude, he's a principal. He's trying to help kids, but it's like not going anywhere. You know what I mean? He's not reaching them at all. Yeah. So that was a great scene, I thought. And then we see a little montage of them bored, doing stupid shit. They're playing with themselves. Yeah. And then the principal walks back in and they're all asleep. And he says, wake up. And he asks, who has to go to the lavatory? And then they're all asleep, but they all raise their hand. So it's kind of funny.
That's funny.
And I like the shot of the clock. You see the clock in the library. I love that shot. It looks very Kubrick-esque. It's so dead center of the frame, and it like fills the frame. I love that. And that's the thing. I think John Hughes, he doesn't get enough credit as a director, as a visual director. He has some great visuals. Not so much in this. It's just in one room, so he doesn't have that many great visuals. But to me, in Ferris Bueller, he killed that. Like that movie has so many great shots and just visuals and iconic shit. You know, like that montage when they're in the museum, like how he shot every painting was just brilliant.
Yeah, no.
The car driving the car and you know the car's flying. You know, the scenes where they're in the pool, the scenes in Ferris's room, like he has some great fucking shots in there.
Yeah, he captures.
Yeah, he fucking killed that. To me, if that's not the best Chicago movie, I don't know what is. I mean, it's probably the best Chicago movie, I think.
Just showing different parts of the city.
Yeah. They're at the Cubs game. They're at the arcade. You know,
see downtown. See the city.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. They have that German parade, and he's on the singing "Twist and Shout" on the road, and Dankeschön
shows the city like no other movie probably has.
Yeah, exactly. It's great, and even the wardrobe too, like him wearing that vest and the jeans, and then Cameron wearing that jersey,
the jersey,
the hockey jersey.
Yeah,
I mean that's
great.
And Bender starts asking Claire about her family randomly, and then Basket Case just screams randomly. She's like, ah! They're like, they look at her like, what the fuck is your problem? And I like how he tells, what does he tell Brian? He's like, you're a neo maxi zoom dweeby. Like, I don't know what the hell that means, but it just sounds funny. So Bender asks Molly Ringwald's character, Claire, he doesn't know her name yet. So he's like, what's your name? And she says, Claire. And he's like, Claire? And she's like, yes, it's a family name. No, it's a fat girl's name. Me and Aileen say that all the time randomly because she finds that scene hilarious.
All right.
Where it's like, Claire, like, that's his stupid face.
All right.
So what do you think of his fat person theory? I think he's kind of onto something where he's like, there are people who are born to be fat, like they're always fat. And then there are people who were skinny who are now fat. But you can see like the skinny person inside them. So he's Bender's fat person theory. And then he asks if she's a virgin. Right. He starts getting more provocative.
He starts digging a little bit.
Yeah, he's asking her. And then Estevez intervenes. Sporto intervenes. He tells her to stop. And then the janitor walks in and he sees them and he sees Brian, Anthony Michael Hall's character. He's like, oh, hey, Brian. And he's like, hey, he kind of waves sheepishly.
That ends up being his dad, we found out, right?
But it's not really his dad. Oh. Yeah, like he was joking. Bender's like, he's like, your dad works here? And he looks over at him like
but he just looks like, no.
Yeah, like, no, he's not. And then it's funny. This scene's funny because he asks him like, oh, how does one become a janitor? That's what Bender asks the janitor. Right. And then janitor's like, you want to be a janitor? And he's like, no, I just want to know how one becomes one. He's like, because my friend Brian here is very interested in the custodial arts. I love that.
Love that, right?
Yeah, like, because, see, that's the thing. He was smart. Like, you can see Bender, he's a jerk, but he's pretty smart. He's funny. Like, he's pretty quick. Yeah. With things. And then they're whistling, and then the principal walks in. He tells them that it's lunchtime, but they have to eat their lunch there. And they're like, oh, okay, great.
Right.
But they want to leave and go to the cafeteria. And he's like, no. But then they say they want drinks. And they're like, okay, fine. So Bender was like, oh, I'll go. And he's like, no, not you. Hell no. And he's like, you. He tells Estevez. Yeah. And he's like, and you. And he points to Basket Case. And so they're like, okay, I guess we'll go get the drinks. And so they're walking to get the drinks, and it's just kind of awkward. And Sporto asks her, so what's your poison? And she just looks at him like, okay. And he's like, what do you drink? And she doesn't answer, though. It's just awkward. But that's the first time I ever heard poison. Did you ever hear that before? Like, before you saw that, like, what's your poison? Like, what's your drink? Yeah.
In terms of drinking.
Yeah, I never heard that before. So I was like, poison? What the hell is that?
That was new.
The only poison I knew was Belle Biv DeVoe.
Yeah, up to that point.
Yeah. But then she tells him that she drinks vodka. And he's like, oh, vodka? Is that why you're here? And then she just asks, oh, why are you here? But he's kind of vague. He doesn't tell. Yeah. He just says, I'm here because my dad expects me to be perfect. And she's like, okay. Like, I don't know what that means, but all right. And then back in the library, Bender, he's looking through some encyclopedia or something. And he says, Claire, you want to see a guy with elephantitis of the nuts? Yeah. I guess he saw something in the book that had that. And then Bender starts asking Brian. He's like, hey, Brian, like, have you ever gotten laid? And he's like, oh, I've laid plenty of times. And he's like, who? And he's like, oh, well, she lives in Niagara Falls. You wouldn't know her. And then he's like, okay, like anyone around here? And then Brian does this thing where he kind of points or something. And then he's like, oh, so you and Claire? And then Claire's like, hey, what the hell are you talking about? And he's like, oh, nothing. And then he's like, Brian's saying, besides the numerous women in the Niagara Falls area, he's like, you and him have hooked up. Yeah. And then she's like, what? That's bullshit. And he's like, no, like, and then he's like, oh, well, why were you motioning to Claire, though? He likes to stir shit up. Right. Yeah, so you and Claire are riding the hobby horse. That's what he says. And then, and so he's like, oh, well, like, but Claire's getting pissed off because he knows he's lying. He's like, oh, I just didn't want to know that I'm a virgin. And she's like, that's fine. I think that's fine. And he's like, it is? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, okay. But it was like the first time when I was a kid seeing stuff like that because they didn't talk about virginity. Okay, like I'm starting to see what high school is really like now.
Right.
Saved by the Bell was a more sanitized version of it.
Right.
So then it's lunchtime and they all have weird lunches.
Yeah.
Claire eats sushi, which I guess that fits her. She's supposed to be kind of upper middle class.
Right.
So she eats sushi, basket case, eats a sandwich, and she puts chips on her sandwich, and then she flings the ham, and it lands on the statue, which is funny. And then Bender sees Brian's lunch, and it's this perfect Leave It to Beaver lunch, has like all the food groups you could want. And then, but Bender's like, he can't believe it. It's so white. He's like, here's a scene at Brian's house, and he reenacts this Leave It to Beaver scene. He's like, how was your day? Yeah, you remember what he says?
Well, great, Dad, or something like that?
Yeah.
Can't remember.
He's like, how are you, son? He's like, swell, Dad. And then he's like, oh, isn't our son great? And isn't life great? And yeah, he reenacts this whole Leave It to Beaver type of thing.
Yeah.
And initially, Brian, they kind of find it funny, but then they start, he's kind of being an asshole by showing that.
Right.
Like he thinks just everyone else's life is perfect. So then, Estevez, he kind of takes offense to that, seeing that. And he's like, okay, so what's a day like at your house like?
Right.
Huh? And then he's like, stupid, worthless, no good, goddamn freeload son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And he's like, you forgot ugly, lazy, shut up, bitch, fix me some turkey pot pie. And he's like, what about you, Dad? He's like, fuck you. No, what about you, Dad? Fuck you. What about you, Dad? Fuck you. And then Sporto, he's like, that's bullshit. I don't believe it. He's like, yeah, it's just an act. He's like, just to fit your image. And he's like, you don't believe it? And he's like, did I stutter? That's what Estevez says. And then he's like, okay, yeah, let me show you this. And he pulls up his sleeve.
Shows him.
And he shows a scar. He's like, you see this? He's like, did I stutter? He's like, this is about the size of a cigar, right? He's like, this is what you get when you spill paint in the garage. And he's like, now Estevez feels stupid because he thought he was full of shit. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, he really.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, that's another scene where you feel bad for Bender. You know,
Yeah.
like, shit. He comes from a pretty fucked up household.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still like a loudmouth and shit, but you still can feel for him a little bit.
Yeah. But his acting is off the chain there.
No, it's good.
Yeah. He gets pissed off after that whole scene with Estevez. And he's like, I don't think I need to sit with you dildos anymore. He walks away and he just throws shit around. He just pushes everything, like all the books on the table. He just pushes them on the floor. He gets pretty emotional there. And then we cut to the principal. He's having lunch in his office, but then he spills the coffee. So he walks away to get paper towels and Bender sees him walk away. So he's like, all right, like, come on, let's sneak out. So they all sneak out and, to me, it's cool. I love this song. The song is by Wang Chung, is the group. It's a pretty good 80s group. They had a few hits, but I like this song, Fire in the Twilight. It's a good, and it like fits the scene perfectly. Like them walking around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once again, Hughes picking the
right tune. Yeah. So they all go out to Bender's locker to get his weed, right? Like they go there, like, what are we doing here? He's like, oh, I need my doobage, is what he says. Yeah. And they turn the hallway and they see Principal Dick there. So like, oh shit. So they have to go the other way. Yeah. And it's a cool little scene. Great music montage. But they reach this locked area. There's like a gate that's locked and they can't go through. They're like, shit. They realize they're screwed now. So then Bender was like, oh, I'll take the rap for this. I'll take the heat and you guys go back. So he kind of sacrifices himself for them, but it's like, he's already in trouble. You know, what more is it going to hurt, you know?
He'll just take it.
Yeah. I mean, they have at least better reputations to uphold than him, you know? Yeah. Like he already hates him. So like, whatever he does.
Might just take whatever he's doing.
So he creates a distraction by running out and he's singing so they can go back to the library. And he's like, I want to be first page. Yeah. And then the Principal Dick can hear that. Yeah. He's like, what the fuck? And so he walks over there. And it's funny because he almost reminds me of Skinner from The Simpsons. Like they almost stole his profile to create Skinner in The Simpsons because he's almost like exactly like him. Yeah. So it's funny. He finds him in the gym. He hears him like bouncing the basketball.
Right.
And it's like, how high is that thing? Because he ends up dunking. He dunks the thing, right? Is it not that high? Is it only like maybe 7 feet high?
It can be. It's jumping out.
Yeah, that can't be regulation 10 feet. Because he was like, ah.
Hard to look at.
Yeah, and then Principal Dick walks in and he's like, what do you think? And she's like, I think I'm going to get me a scholarship. Like he says that. He's dribbling. Yeah, it's funny that he uses this black scent for that. And then he takes Bender back to the library and he tells them, like, you'll be without the services of Mr. Bender for the rest of the day. And Bender's like, BOOHOO. Yeah. And the other kids laugh. And they're like, oh, you think he's so cool, huh? Like, you want to see something cool? Go visit John Bender in 5 years. See how cool he is. And then he gets kind of serious again there.
Right at that moment.
Yeah. Yeah. And he grabs Bender by the arm and he's like, you keep your fucking hands off me. He tells him. And so I expected better manners from you, dick. Yeah. And then he takes him to that back room and he says, someday when you're out of here and forgotten this place and they've forgotten you and you're wrapped up in your own pathetic life, I'm going to be there. I'm going to beat the shit out of you. So I'm going to kick your dick in the dirt. He tells him that. But that scene right there, I love that. And yeah, to me, those are the best actors in the film. Hey, the principal and Bender. Yeah.
No,
they both killed it acting wise.
Yeah.
They both did a great job. So how he acts that scene, I love it. And then Bender says, "Are you threatening me?" And Principal Dick is like, "What are you gonna do about it?" It's like, "You think you're gonna take your word over mine? People like me around here. I'm a swell guy."
Right.
And he's like, "Come on, go right here." He's like, he gives him a shot to punch him.
Yeah.
He's like, "Come on, just do it. Just do it right here." He's like, "Come on." He's like, "Give it to him." But he doesn't. He's like kind of freaked out, right? Like, I think Bender's like, "Oh shit, this guy's serious?"
He really wants me to hit him?
Yeah. So I think, not that he didn't want to hit him, but he was just like, I think he was too freaked out in that moment.
Surprised that he went there with it. Like,
yeah. And he was like, "Oh shit." Like,
yeah.
So even that was like a reality check for Bender a little bit. So yeah, but that whole scene, I love that whole scene. And then what's funny is he goes back in to talk to the other kids and he kind of said, "Oh, Mr. Bender is gone." And then he walks away and he goes to the bathroom and he's going to take a shit because you can see him take the seat cover off. It's like really quick, but you see him take the seat cover off. Yeah. And then cut to Bender. So he climbs into the vent.
Right.
You see him go up the vent and he's crawling in the vent like in Alien 2.
And then he has a fall.
Yeah, Bishop in Alien 2. Yeah, and then he's saying some joke. He's like, a naked blonde walks into a bar. He says some shit. Mm-hmm. And then, he crashes through the wall and falls down. And he falls in the library. And then the principal can hear that. He's like, shit. So he gets out of the bathroom and walks over there. And then Bender gets there and hides under Claire's table.
No, that's right.
Yeah, and then Principal Dick walks in. He's like, "What was that ruckus?" And they're like, "What ruckus?" And he's like, "I heard a ruckus." All this ruckus reminds me of Wu-Tang. You're like, bring the motherfucking ruckus. Yeah. They're like, I always thought that was funny. Like, what was that ruckus? He's like, what ruckus? Like, there was no ruckus. Bender is there. He's like between Claire's legs. So he like kind of puts his head in her crotch. And she's like, so she kind of kicks him, and then he kind of grunts though, and then they start coughing to cover that up. Like he grunts, and they're like, and they're like, "Was that the ruckus you heard, sir?" And he's like, "No, that was not what the ruckus I heard." And he's like, "I will not be made a fool of." And he walks away, and you can see the seat cover hanging out of his ass. Yeah. And then when he closes the door, then they all bust out laughing. Yeah, it's hilarious.
That was funny.
Yeah. So Sporto, he smokes and then goes crazy. His weird dance, and then he starts dancing like an idiot, running around, takes off his sweater.
Definitely standing out.
Yeah, and then he goes into this other room and he slams the door, and he's like, the glass shatters. It's like, okay, what the hell is that? And then the principal's looking at files. He's randomly looking at files. Alarms. Yeah, sirens going on. He's looking at files, and then the custodian walks in and catches him. He's like, "Oh, Dick." He's like, "Looking at files?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "These are confidential files." And he's like, "What do you want?" Yeah. He's like, "How about $50?" And he's like, $50? Like, but I guess it kind of cuts there. He doesn't, we don't see. I guess he paid him off. So then Brian and Sporto are talking and they're high. And Sporto asks Brian what's his middle name. And then Basket Case comes out of nowhere. It's like, "Your middle name is Ralph, as in puke." And she tells him all these random facts about him: his height, his weight, his address, his date of birth. And Sporter was like, "Oh, are you psychic?" And she's like, "No." And he's like, "Well, would you mind telling me how you know all these things about me?" And she's like, "I stole your wallet." And she's like, "What?" He's like, "What the hell?" And he's like, "Why did you steal my wallet?" And she's like, "Oh, because I'm bored and I want to run away from home." And it was, just like random teenage conversations like that. That's what the movie is a lot about. And then Principal Dick and the custodian, they're in the office talking, and he asks custodian what he wanted to be when he grew up. And he said, "Oh, I wanted to be John Lennon." And he's like, Like, no, like he doesn't take that seriously. So Dick says he's scared that these kids are going to be taking care of him and the world when he's older. And yeah, I think that goes to the moral of the movie. Is like the older generation thinks that the younger generation is not capable, you know? Right. So then the kids start talking and they're asking what would they do for $1 million? Would they go to school naked? And then Basket Case said she's a nymphomaniac because she said she had sex with her psychiatrist or something. But then she said, I'm lying about that. And so they said they can't believe anything she says. And then Basket Case asks if Claire has done it. And she's like, she kind of tricks her. She says, if you say you haven't, you're a prude. If you say you have, then you're a slut. It's a trap.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lose-lose.
Yeah, you're not getting it from there.
Estevez is like, or you're a tease, he says. And then Bender's like, she's only a tease, and what she does gets you hot. Yeah, and they all pressure her. They're all like, Claire, like, answer the question, Claire, answer the question. Yeah. They all say that. And then she's like, all right, I never did it.
They got it out of her.
Yeah, and then Basket Case was like, oh, neither have I. And she's like, oh, great. Like, you just lied just to have me say that. Now you weren't even telling the truth.
Right.
Stupid ass. Yeah. So then Sporto was like, you know what I did to be here? And he said how he taped Larry Lester's buns together. I kind of didn't understand the story. It kind of took me a long time to understand what he did to get there. But so the guy was really hairy when they're in the locker room. He taped him.
I'd have to look at that scene again.
Yeah, that's what he says. He's like, oh, he's really hairy, so I taped him up because I did it as a prank because like his dad always used to do shit. He used to say how he always used to do shit.
Right.
And he's like, you can't fuck around like I used to fuck around.
Right.
But then when he gets in trouble, he's all pissed off. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, so it's like, do you want him to fuck around or not? Because he says he did it for his old man. So he did it for his old man, so he'd think he was cool. But then
it didn't really.
Yeah. And then his old man was pissed off at him for doing it. Yeah. It was a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
So they kind of feel for him. And then Brian tries to chime in and talk about his grades. He explains that he got an F in shop class and he took it because he thought it would be easy. And then Bender takes offense to that because he takes shop class. And I guess it's probably like the only class that he's good at. So they get into kind of an argument. And then they ask themselves, like, will we be friends on Monday morning after having this experience with each other? Like, are you gonna say hi to me, or is it just here? You know, and watching this back, there's a lot more F-bombs in this than I remember. Yeah. Like the F word was a lot. You hear a lot of it.
It's used.
Yeah. And then Brian tells them that he has a gun because he can't have an F. His parents would kill him. And so they're like taking it seriously. They think he might try to kill himself.
Right.
And then Basket Case asked if it was a handgun. And he's like, oh, it was a flare gun. And then they all just start laughing. Like, they're like, flare gun? Like, it's pretty stupid. And it went off in his locker. Like, apparently. And then Basket Case says she did nothing to be there. She just didn't have anything better to do. So you just see how weird she is.
Right.
Yeah. And then they start dancing again, really cheesy, really white dancing.
Right.
And then Bender climbs back into the vent and goes back into that room he was in. And then Claire asks Brian if he's going to write his paper. And she tells him he should write the paper for everyone. And then Claire is fixing Basket Case's makeup. And she says, you look a lot better without that black shit in your eyes. And she's like, hey, I like that black shit.
Right.
And then Claire goes to the room that Bender is in, and then Basket Case comes out with her makeover, and like Estevez is like, oh my god, look.
Yeah, he's really tripped out by it. He's like,
yeah, I kind of liked her better before that, like before her makeover.
Yeah, because I think she was in her element.
Yeah, like she was more who she is, right?
Right.
She
may look more appealing to the people because she's not as.
Yeah.
But you like people
authentic. Yeah.
So she was less authentic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Sporto, he was like really feeling her.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my god, you're so hot.
And then at that point, it was clear to see who was going to make a move.
And who was going to pair off.
We've talked about this in the end. There's only 5 people, so one of them is going to
be an odd man out, literally.
So, there was build up to that, though.
Yeah, exactly.
When Estevez, like in He Knew, I wasn't surprised. Claire and Bender have their moments.
Yeah, exactly.
He's underneath the table. He's making fun of
yeah.
But, that also can be like, if you can get past
flirtatious.
Yeah, but if you can get past that, then you like it. At first, you probably think he's a dick.
Right. Yeah.
But then if you get past that, then you can actually like how it is.
Yeah.
So I think he won her over.
Yeah.
I don't think nobody liked him.
I guess she liked the bad boy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It had to grow on her.
Yeah.
Because you're in there with them for hours.
Yeah, exactly.
I think over time, she kind of accepted it. Like, oh, he's a bad boy. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, so, it is what it is.
So then I only left Anthony Michael Hall's character, which was...
He's the odd man out.
Yeah, it was a more nerdy one. And there wasn't another female.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think John Hughes did that on purpose to show sometimes in life, there's an odd man out in things. Or woman. Yeah. But in his case, it was the guy.
Yeah. Yeah. They each get a girl. Or they each get a partner.
That you see towards the end of the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Except Brian. And I think, and then he has to stay and write the paper. So I always felt bad for him. Like, does he get a girl and he has to do all the work?
Got the
short end of the stick.
Michael Hall. I think John Hughes wanted him to get that. So he wrote the movie. So
yeah,
he wanted to show, I think, for the audience, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
But I think he chose him because he was the nerdier one.
Yeah.
It would make sense to show Judd Nelson's character like that.
Yeah.
It would make sense to show like the geeky nerdy kid that wants you to write and not get the girl.
Yeah, exactly.
So I understand why he did it.
Yeah. I remember hearing an interview with him. He was like, so the reason that he doesn't get the girl and he has to do all the work
is why.
He says, because that character was me. He's like, that character was me. He's like, I was the nerdy kid. I didn't get the girl.
He wanted to show himself.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We didn't know that, but that's what he revealed.
Yeah. He was saying the Brian character is based on me. He's like, I was the nerd
I'm
kid.
the one that didn't get to play the nerdy one.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I wanted to put an image of myself.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that answer.
Yeah. So that's really why he did it. And so and so they're leaving. It's the end of the day. They're leaving, and the janitor says bye to them, and Bender says, "See you next Saturday." Yeah, and then the two couples, they kiss outside, and they're like making out like right in front of their parents in the car. Yeah. Like when the parents be like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing?"
It's almost like they didn't care that they saw that.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna kiss you in front of your dad or your mom or your dad. So.
I'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Don't do it in front of us.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Get in the car.
Especially now with this random ass dude.
Right, right. You might have question marks about the guys.
Right, yeah.
I want him to kiss on her.
Yeah, and then Claire gives Bender her earring.
Yeah, kind of weird. But she was weird like that anyway. So that was her way of showing like, hey, I like you.
Yeah.
You can have this, whatever.
Yeah. And then they kiss again. And
and then
she gets in the car. And
and then you have Emilio Estevez's character.
Yeah.
Basket.
Yeah, they're macking.
Yeah. And she gives something too, right? Or does she not?
No, I don't think so.
She just kissed him and got in the car.
Yeah. And they're like, okay, they're both feeling good.
And then you got Anthony Michael Hall.
We hear him on the voiceover again, like in the beginning.
Like he's talking, narrating it again.
Yeah. So he keeps it short and sweet.
He explains like the ending of it. He said we still really don't know why we had to spend
Yeah.
But
But they really got to know each other over the hours of that day.
I think the sum of the movie is that like spending time with people from all different walks could be a good thing.
Yeah.
And it was for a bad circumstance.
Yeah.
You guys had to come together because it's Saturday school.
Right, exactly.
But at the end of the day, if you didn't do this, when you walked around campus, they wouldn't say nothing to each other because you didn't have to.
Yeah.
And, you judge people. She would have judged him as, I don't like him because he's an asshole.
Yeah.
They would have judged the geeky kid. He's too geeky. But because you had to,
and
actually, I wouldn't say they're all friends, but they're closer than what they were.
Yeah.
And obviously, there was some romance between two of them.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, he kind of sums it up right there. Like, he's basically saying, we got to know each other. Why don't you get to know us? He was like telling that to the principal, basically. You know what I mean?
Like we had to get to know each other. Now you need to know us.
Yeah. It's like all you think about is just punishing us. You know what I mean?
But you don't know us.
Yeah. I think that's what he was trying to say.
Because we had to get forced to know each other.
Right, exactly.
But now, why don't you try getting to know us?
Yeah, for sure.
Because he wants to see them, I won't say fail, but he wants to see them in punishment.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's why he was trying to give him so many Saturdays at future Saturday schools.
Yeah.
That's why he kept saying, you don't know anything, Bender.
Yeah.
He just wanted to not even open up to be Bender's cool. He just, or let me understand why he's the way he is.
Yeah.
Maybe he learned from his
background, his family. Yeah.
Right. You learn what he's dealing with at home. It shapes who he is when he comes to school.
Yeah.
But if you never allow that, you would never know what's going on.
Yeah.
Why these people are the way they are. So.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty deep.
Yeah, it was a good way to tell it all. And then if you want to say the very last scene, Bender walking.
The classic ending, you see a football field, you see Bender walking across the football field.
One of the best endings. I mean,
it is one.
Because it's just
that frame.
It's just the picture perfect.
Yeah.
Like it captures the school element.
Yeah,
He's walking across the football field,
right.
and then you catch him with an ironic, hand fist, so it's one of the best, I would say, endings.
Yeah.
Maybe not of all time, but
At least in the 80s, maybe.
and that time frame
Yeah.
is one of the best endings.
Coming of age 80s movies,
I
that's
would
one of
say,
the best
I would
endings.
say,
Yeah.
and I think you would agree with me.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. And it's kind of funny that he does that, because it's like he walks and he's just like, he's right. When you think about it, it's like, dude, you just had Saturday school. You had
It almost
a
makes it
pretty
seem,
shitty day.
it makes it seem like he won.
Yeah,
when you win, you put your arm up, like, yeah, I'm a champion.
Yeah.
And so in his mind, he did win because
He got the girl.
he got the girl.
Yeah.
I mean, his life is already shitty at home, right?
Yeah,
He
exactly.
showed the burn mark and everything.
Right, yeah.
But what did he win?
Yeah.
He won
He got,
Pharaoh.
exactly.
So in his mind, it's like,
Yeah.
hey,
He's like, that was a victory.
that's the only thing I can pull from here. What
exactly.
else would he be happy?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I got a girl that I didn't probably think I would get otherwise.
Yeah, exactly.
But I spent this time with her and I won her over, and that's the movie.
Yeah, and it feels good when you see him do that. You're like, yeah,
you feel it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you're like, it's
that's
like,
why that ending. Every time I see it, I feel like
like,
I'm right there with him.
you get happy when you see that.
Yeah. You kind of feel it with the person.
Yeah, so classic ending. Yeah,
good movie.
So,
great movie, great ending. One of the few stories where they stay in one setting.
Yeah,
this movie does not change outside
one
of the
location,
high school.
really.
And like I said, I feel movies are hard to pull off like that.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, because of how the characters were and the characters he picked, he pulled it off. Because location also gives diversity, right?
Yeah.
You get tired of looking. If we just shot something here for 2 hours, we would have to be really good.
Right.
Because the viewer wants to see a change.
Yeah. You want
how your mind works. You don't want to see the same.
Yeah. It was just monotonous scene. Yeah. Great acting, great dialogue.
Those actors had to do more because there wasn't enough, changes going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the movie, it grossed $51.5 million.
And in that time, that was probably like
that was
2-3 times.
Yeah, exactly.
What it would be today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it was only a $1 million budget.
So he definitely won over.
Yeah.
Just for the 85.
Yeah.
Came out, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And earned acclaim from critics who consider it to be one of Hughes' most memorable and recognized works.
It's considered a classic of the 80s. Some people consider it a classic just in general.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's classic for those actors.
Yeah.
They were all part of
some of their best work.
Others movies, but that's probably
a lot of that is their peak.
Yeah.
For sure.
They peaked early. Those 3 movies, Pretty in Pink, that one, 16 Candles, he peaked with, Weird Science.
Yeah. This could be Judd's peak. It probably is Judd.
Yeah.
In New Jack City.
Yeah.
He did that weird Girl in the Basement movie. That was weird.
Right. And he showed you a different side.
Yeah.
A dark character.
Right.
So yeah, these are all moments for them, and it's kind of crazy that they peaked early.
Yeah, for sure.
Or a lot of them did. Michael Anthony Hall, I think he's known for Dead Zone outside of this, which
he tried to do other shit.
And he did more in there. He did like Edward Scissorhands and stuff.
Yeah,
but nothing in the '90s came close to what
matches what he did. Yeah,
so that's why he peaked early.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's fine. At least he had a good peak.
Yeah,
meaning he had a run. He had 3, 4, 5 movies where it was like.
Yeah, exactly.
And then by the time he got to adulthood, he just didn't really have another peak like that. Exactly. I don't think Wemby's gonna, for those out there, I don't think Wemby's gonna taper off. Right. Let's say they win or lose. He's 22 years old. I think he'll have more years to come.
Right.
But it does happen.
Yeah.
Some people win early, and like you said, they don't never get back to that,
Yeah, kind of like Cal Ripken. Like his rookie year, they won the World Series, and he thought he'd be there every year, and they never won again. You know what I mean?
What happens? Yeah. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
You don't want to peak too early.
Exactly.
In life, he wasn't. In rap, he peaked. In his career, he peaked early. Right. But the reason why I'm saying that is in life, he was like 27, 28.
Yeah.
So he was almost 30.
Right.
But in rap, he started his career when he was 27, 30. As far as albums.
Yeah.
He had been rapping like 92. But the Marshall Mathers and the first Slim Shady LP came out when he was like 27, 28.
Yeah.
Same thing like Jay-Z.
Yeah.
So they kind of peaked by their second, third, fourth album. They're already 30 years old.
Yeah.
So they're not old, but they're not necessarily young anymore either. So that's a good middle age, to peak. But some of these other people are peaking really, really early.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It happens.
And I think part of it has to do because of this movie and the other movies like St. Elmo's Fire. And this guy did an article at that time where he
was typecasted.
Yeah.
And we talked about that's why he turned down roles that Hughes was offering him. And I think in hindsight, he should have taken them because he didn't peak any other time.
Yeah, exactly.
But as a kid, he didn't know that. So he just didn't want to.
Yeah. He was trying to prevent it, but he didn't realize that would be his only
right.
His only peak.
So if that was your only peak, you should, just like Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
he went to all these other teams. But in my case, he hasn't won. So you should have just stayed in Golden State and won more. You know, if you were going to peak there and you knew that you were going to win with Brooklyn, Phoenix, and now Houston, I think you're just better off staying with Curry and winning more championships.
Yeah, exactly.
You were going to win another one, probably. You kept that team together.
I mean, you at least would have won when they won that second one.
You would have been there for that.
Exactly.
I would have gave you 30.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but they probably would have won others even before that.
Would have won at least 2 more. Yeah, because you were going to win that year with Kawhi. You just got hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff and Klay Thompson.
They could have won 2020. They could have won 2020.
They should have had a 3-peat.
Yeah,
and then maybe a 4 or 5. I don't know. That would have been crazy. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but no one was going to stop them. That's what we were saying.
Yeah,
they were unstoppable until the injuries came, and then Kevin left. Rest history. And I recommend Breakfast Club to any young kid. But I think a classic is a classic. I say that.
Yeah.
You'll still feel the goodness of it.
Yeah.
I don't think it will hit as much if you weren't born of that time frame.
Yeah.
But I still recommend it nonetheless.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my thought.
I think it's a universal. I think it will still live on even if technology has changed.
But something great is a time step, meaning it's great in any era.
Yeah.
You just would feel it more if you were around in that era.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's great regardless.
Yeah.
You'll still feel like this was good acting. It's a good story.
Good music.
Good music. There was no fail to it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, exactly.
The music was good. The choosing of the actors was good. The one location worked. Off the top of my head, I can't pick anything that John Hughes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe the only thing is just a little bit of 80s like cheesiness of it. Yeah,
So,
that was great.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great rating.
Yeah.
All right, that was the Breakfast Club. Thank you, Byron, for joining me.
It's been great again.
Yep. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And all I can say is la 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 la. Thank you. See you next time. Briterion Bollection. Peace out.
Peace out.